Hello, welcome back to Open. BronxWorks, that is next, a non-for-profit organization that aims to bring awareness to help improve health and wellness to the residents throughout the Bronx. And they're actually preparing to host their annual gala. And this year, those in attendance will be treated to a silent auction, something BronxWorks Gala hasn't done in about 10 years. And joining us by phone to share more details on the silent auction is coordinator Sandra Rossini. And with us in the studio, we are joined by BronxWorks Development Director Ken Small. Hello and welcome.
Hi,
Hello.
Rena. How are you?
Good. Are we able to hear? Can you hear her?
I can hear Sandra.
You can hear Sandra?
I can hear Sandra.
Yeah, that's because you're sitting super still.
I also have good audio.
Hi, Sandra.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
And Ken, of course, thank you for visiting us again.
It's good to be back.
We love having you guys on annually. And so, can we just share with the viewers a little more about BronxWorks?
Sure. As I adjust my headset. BronxWorks is a multi-service organization that was founded in 1972. We were first known as the Citizens Advice Bureau. In 2009, we rebranded and we became BronxWorks. We've had annual events now going back to about 1997. And this year is going to be the first year since about 2004 that we're going to have an art component to our annual event. And Sandra Rossini has really been a key player in helping to make that happen.
And
you.
Sandra?
Yes.
I understand your artwork is also part of the auction.
That is correct. I am also an artist that's participating.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've made a piece specifically for the actual event. It took me a few tries. I had to get a perfect inspiration of what I wanted to actually communicate with the piece. And I think I was very satisfied with the piece at the end. My name is Sandra Rossini. I've been an artist for about 15 years now. My inspirations have been Picasso. They've also been Frida. I also enjoy a lot of the pre-Renaissance period art. Would you like me to continue with the other artists?
Sure.
Yes, sure. You know, if you like, since you started, I'm sorry, I'm just having a little bit of a difficult time with my earpiece, and so that's why you keep hearing my silence, because I'm not sure if you're done speaking, it's coming in and out. But since we are already started describing your piece, which we're probably going to talk about it again, just because we have the images to accompany them, if you like, we could start with Benjamin Cassiano.
Wonderful. Benjamin Cassiano. Ben has been working with me for quite some time now. It's been about 10 years. We've hosted shows throughout Connecticut. We really like to get involved in the communities, and specifically in areas where we can really make a bang, you know, as far as art-wise is concerned, and also make a type of awareness of how art can be used to help and then turn around to help the world. You can really just help anybody, you know, when it comes to visual and, you know, monetary support. So Ben, specifically with the Bronx, has a really strong connection. He was born there. So he was born about 10 minutes away from Yankee Stadium, so the Bronx is near and dear to his heart, and he still has relatives that live there. So needless to say, Ben was more than excited to be a part of BronxWorks and the donation.
And so we're looking at his piece right now. What size is that piece?
The piece is pretty big. The piece is, I believe, I don't have the exact measurements in front of me, but I believe it's 34 by 34.
She's beautiful. This is the Daisy one, right?
This is Daisy, correct.
Yes, okay, just want to make sure.
He's quite a cubist. If you actually look at his work, he likes Fauvism and abstract art as well, and expressionism. He's been compared to Picasso. You know, Picasso is a really popular one. And I've seen his work throughout the years. It's something that he's consistent with as far as cubism is concerned.
You can tell it's inspired by. So I just want to talk to Ken a bit about choosing to actually have the silent auction this year.
Right. You know, it's interesting because the idea in terms of having artwork in a BronxWorks annual event actually goes back to another Bronx person, Bill Aguado. And years ago, Bill Aguado gave us the inspiration to fuse together a fundraising event and an art event. And in 1997, we had our 25th anniversary event, and in 2000, we did our first event that featured some artwork. And Bill played a major role in making that happen. So 2001, 2002, 2003, we had a fundraiser, and we bundled into it an art auction. We decided to put it on hold for a number of years because we couldn't get a person like Sandra, who's really critical because she not only knows the art piece, but she knows the administrative piece, she knows the logistics piece. And we think on June 2nd, we're going to have something that's really going to be fantastic.
Good. That's a great lead into Sandra.
Thank you.
Asking basically, like, how is it, what do you look for in curating and deciding what pieces complement each other or will actually pop to want a person to purchase it?
Yeah.
Because that's the idea.
That's a really good question. You know, art and beauty is really in the eye of the beholder. I tend to look for originality, and I also tend to look for emotion. Emotion plays a big part in the brushstrokes of any piece of art. And actually, if you get really close to Benjamin, talking about going back to Benjamin, you can see his art. His brushstrokes are actually quick and short. So it actually shows, you know, how excited and how enthusiastic he is. He's one of those artists that produces paintings in a couple of hours. So originality. I also like culture. I like seeing culture in the paintings, diversity. Those are all items that we look for.
I just wanted to know if we could see some of the images because we're running out of time, and I know we have images of the other art pieces. And if we can talk about whomever you like, just as long as we can actually see the other three images.
Great. Do you want to pull up Claudio Altasor next?
Okay, which would be who?
He's the one that
oh, here it
did
is.
the
It's collective consciousness.
piece.
Oh, I think that's yours we're looking at.
We're looking at mine?
Yeah, the uncertain, like, I like you.
Oh, that's mine. So talking a little bit about my art, I tend to be a little bit
well,
more
they just
poppy.
shifted. They just moved it. Now they just changed it to collective consciousness. Excuse me, I got to clear my throat.
So we can move on to collective consciousnness. Claudio is an interesting artist. He tends to obviously go more towards a surrealist path. I tend to say Dali for him. I've been watching him, but he says his favorite artist is Neo Roch, and he's been painting for about 11 years. And he really looks for some constant mutation, looking for his own path in his art.
That was
Claudio
beautiful. That was a
Altasor.
young woman. That was a young girl, like touching her mom, or I mean, it doesn't have to be her mom, but that's of course my interpretation.
Yep, that's Hernan Restrepo. Hernan is wonderful when it comes to the sense of impressionism and really getting the painting to look pastel-y and giving it a soft, emotional feeling.
Okay, so that's Memory Encounter that we're looking at.
Correct. I'm a big fan of Hernan. He has displayed in various areas in Connecticut as well. He also has his own website. All these artists actually have their own websites as well. If you want to move forward to Rosa.
Rosa, really quick. Rosa Coló.
The flower.
The U.S. flower.
Wonderful. Rosa is just wonderful when it comes to capturing what nature has to offer. She specializes in flowers, which you can actually see throughout all of Connecticut. She has a lot of openings at the library, at Stanford, Greenwich, and as well at the Loft Artists Association.
Okay, and then we're going to close really quickly with your piece because they're wrapping us up, but I want to at least have a moment to admire your piece. I'm Certain I Like You.
Oh, well, thank you. I just love to have fun. I know, right? Thanks for liking me. I just love to have
Such
fun
a cute
with art.
piece.
I love it. What a nice tie-in.
Thank
She's
you.
like, thanks for
people
liking
to be
me.
happy when they look at the pieces. I do a lot of color play. If you notice at my art, I try to go color wheel opposites constantly. So I'm constantly, having them fight within each other in the painting to create what you see in front of you.
Wow, beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. And thank you for taking a moment to share all of this with us, Sandra.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm more than honored to be a part of this. This is wonderful.
Okay, thank you. And Ken, before we go, do you have any last words?
Sure. I hope all of you can come out on Tuesday, June 2nd. The annual event this year is going to be at 10 DeBrosa Street down in Tribeca. And things are going to start at 6 p.m. And for more information, go to the BronxWorks website, www.bronxworks.org. See you there.
All right. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
And thank you for always coming by
Always.
and sharing with our viewers.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thank you again, Sandra Rossini. She's still there. BronxWorks, once again, the BronxWorks annual gala featuring a silent auction is taking place on Tuesday, June 2nd, beginning at 6 p.m. And for tickets and further information, you can go to bronxworks.org/2015 annual gala. Right now, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, it's Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup coming up next.